Watch me run to the front door all night, willing you to come. Say life is also be fun. Turning 21. Welcome back to another episode of IB What's Going On? I'm Aeden.
I'm Heather.
And I'm Gregory.
As you can see, we're missing a little mermaid today.
Yes, Arielle. She's busy.
So we have Sebastian the crab to join us today.
What the frick? No, I am here unwillingly.
Would you rather be Sebastian or Flounder?
Sebastian.
Exactly.
I don't want to be Sebastian. Okay. Anyway.
So today, what are we doing today?
Today we'll be talking about the sciences, Group 4
Yay.
subjects in IB. So the Group 4 sciences are compulsory, and each person, when they take the IB course, they need to have at least one science. So you can have either physics, chemistry, or bio.
Or there are others like...
There are others?
Yeah. There's like computer science.
Yeah, there's computer science. But we aren't going to go into that
No.
because I don't think most schools in Singapore like provide it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's
we'll do the main three, the big three.
Yeah.
So the big three that you could possibly choose from are chemistry, physics, and bio, all of which you could possibly have taken at O levels. But fear not, you don't actually need to have taken the subject at O levels to take it in IB.
You know what?
What?
Only if you want to take it at a higher
Only if you want to take it
Oh,
up. Only if you want to take it at a higher level, do you need to have taken it at an O level. So for SL or standard levels, you can actually take a new subject. So in O levels, I'm pretty sure chemistry is compulsory for all. So most people will be able to take HL Chem if they want to. You can take a maximum of 2 of the 3 sciences. And so shall we get into what the different sciences are?
Sure. Up first, our little baby chemistry.
Chemistry.
Oh gosh.
Chemistry.
Okay, so welcome to chemistry, where we have 11 core subjects, 11 core units, and an extra 10 extra units for higher level.
Oh my goodness.
To make a total of 21 units compared to Bio's measly 5.
No, that's 5 core units.
5 core units?
It's 11.
Fine, 11. You still have 10 less. This is what I mean by chemistry. It has by far the most units, but it also has most of the interesting topics, for example, acids and bases.
Oh,
That's the least interesting topic you could have chosen.
That's like the most standard.
No, you get to learn how to poison
Can
your
you
friends.
say chemical kinetics or energetics?
Do you know that they use potassium iodide to inject into your veins for lethal injection?
No, they use potassium. Don't you eat potassium iodide to get you healthier or
No, you have to. If you have too much potassium in your body, you have uncontrollable
This is two
diarrhea.
Very conflicting opinions right here.
No, they inject potassium iodide into your veins to kill you.
And that's why he learned during chem.
And how do you know that? How do you know that?
Nursing internship.
Oh, for real.
Oh, for real.
Okay, anyways, so for chemistry, we have a bunch of random core topics that you'll be learning. For the first month or so, it'll mostly be a recap of the topics that you have learned in O levels. So, for example, you get to... Can you stop bobbing your head for 1 second?
It's okay.
So, for the first month, you'll mostly be relearning most of your topics in O levels. For example, how to calculate moles, how to go and balance equations. And after, you'll be moving on to more fun topics. For example, physics.
Why are you talking about physics now?
We're learning about wavelengths and particle theory and light and photons. Yes. All of the 3 sciences are interconnected. So,
Okay, but to talk about the recap of O-level stoichiometric relationships, it's a bit more complicated because you know how O-level sometimes you have parts to the question, right? Sometimes in IB they just give you an entire experimental procedure and they expect you to know how to calculate the moles.
This is why I don't take chem.
Yeah. Okay, good for you.
So, for example, an extra part of stoichiometric is we learn something called uncertainty, which is basically how
uncertain
or reliable a piece of equipment is. What are you doing?
Just continue talking now.
I thought that was disapproval at me and just like why, just like frowning after about what information I'm spreading.
Just talk.
Just stop.
Okay, so we learn about the uncertainty of equipment. So for example, when you're reading your equipment, how are you sure that it's exactly on the line and not in between? How do you draw the line between what the volume you're measuring is?
Line.
Line, measurement, gradient.
Measurement line. Sorry.
You
I wish there was an equipment to measure intelligence, but alas, it's too low.
There is. It's
What?
called an IQ quiz.
But it can only measure up to people from 0 to
Uncertainty of
300.
100%.
Experimental error of 2000%.
Hey, my recent report, I got experimental error on 80.
Why you're so high? All of mine are in the low 20s.
Okay, good for you.
See, I don't get what's happening.
I'm actually smart. Sorry.
Okay, so basically, yeah, that's the first two topics that you'll be covering. It's very interesting.
Yeah. What about your optional?
The rest I don't think is important to cover yet, but just for a little sneak peek, for optional, aka your higher level.
No.
Wait, no, optional? Wait, what? No.
Optional is here.
Oh, what's that?
Every school needs to choose at least one optional subject for all of the sciences.
I did not know that.
Do you know which one's your optional subject?
I do not know that.
It is medicinal chemistry for.
Oh, that means that if you come to you have a better chance in medicine.
Are you sure?
They
No.
love their medicine babies.
No, obviously not. But
No, they love their medicine babies. They got what? Medical internship. Then they got
Okay, shush,
medicinal
shush.
chemistry.
Yeah, they have the. I got spammed with so many emails of medical internships. Oh my tian.
anyway, HL subject.
Anyway, we have extra HL subjects, which would be things like exciting the periodic table. Wow.
Wait, huh? Isn't that like part of O-level syllabus?
Yeah.
No, but you talk about transition metals.
Yeah, you know how periodic table, O levels, you have this chapter called the periodic table and periodic trends, where you learn about halogens, group 1 metals, group 2 metals, transition metals. Well, we learn more in depth about it and we learn about your electronic configuration. Now you find out your electronic configuration is no longer 288, but rather 2882 followed by 28162, and it just goes on and on and on. 281632.
You're
I
saying
think.
it wrong.
Our
What
editor
am I
is
doing
staring at you with judgment.
Sorry, I do not take chemistry.
It's one. It's 1s2.
Okay.
2s2.
They won't understand that.
P6.
Yeah,
and
see,
3s.
when you come into like JC,
understand what you're saying either, so.
yes,
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. And so other HL subjects that we learn, HL units that we learn would be things like organic chemistry, which would be your last the last topic for O levels for chemistry. If you take full chemistry, I'm not sure about combined sciences, but you should still be able to at least catch up along the way, because at the beginning the teachers will go through slowly to make sure that everybody's on the same foundational level before they start advancing into new territories and topics.
Unless you have like a very mean teacher.
Unless you have a
Yes.
teacher that is so...
unless your teacher's like, everybody knows this, let's go move on.
Yeah, some teachers that are so inefficient that you need to go and look at other teachers' sites.
Shh, okay, we're not talking about that.
Okay, but like
Move on.
honestly, right,
Moving
for
on.
chemistry, right, at like O levels, it's mostly self-study. Everything
just
can be
read a
understood
textbook.
on your own. So even if you have a really bad teacher, it should be fine. Y'all should be fine.
You forget the caveat that you have to be smart to do that.
Nah, you don't.
No, you just memorize
Yeah, you
and
memorize
paste.
and you hope that you understand.
See, right, you just turn yourself into a computer, then you press Control V, Control C, no, Control C,
Control
Control
V
V.
lah.
You want to paste before you copy it. See what you gonna paste?
I put myself on the paper, then I copy my answer.
You put yourself on the paper.
Okay.
Okay,
Moving on.
so for external assessments, aka our exams, we have 3 papers, which would consist of paper 1 for 45 minutes and it's worth 20% of your grade.
This is SL, by the way.
This is SL, by the way.
Why don't you just repeat what she said?
Yes, paper 1 is 45 minutes.
And paper 1 will basically be your MCQs, which there are 30 questions. We are not allowed to use a calculator. Ooh, what fun. What is 1 plus 1? I have no clue. Anyways, paper 2 Paper 2 will be 1 hour and 15 minutes for 40% of your entire grade. Woohoo! So if you fail this paper, you know what to do. Anyways, so it will be short short answer and extended responses on the core materials. Basically, it will be your section B of O levels, and we are allowed to use the calculators. Plus, we'll have this thing called a chemistry data booklet, which will be full of all sorts of formulas. For example, it will tell you that Avogadro's constant is 6.03 times.
Avocado, yeah.
Avocado's constant.
No, it's Avogadro. You stop.
Gadro lah.
Gadro.
As you can tell, this is the most chaotic episode.
See, right? I cannot read.
Avocado.
No, okay, look, like my secondary school's mascot was avocado, and after we made fun of them. No, my class mascot was literally an avocado. We had this gigantic 1 meter avocado soft toy that got stolen.
Oh, by me.
Huh?
Wait, you stole it.
Excuse me, what?
I didn't say anything.
Hey, we were checking the CCTV and we couldn't find wow.
Yeah, we didn't steal it.
Okay,
It's kind of
continuing.
So we'll also be provided with a chemistry data booklet, which basically includes a bunch of different units. For example, what is the value of the Planck's constant or the speed of light?
6.62 times 10 to the power negative 34.
Okay, you're smart. Now shut up.
Rude. Anyways, paper 3 will be 1 hour long and is worth 20% of the entire grade. This paper will have questions on both your core topics and your optional material. And so it is made out of 2 sections. Section A will have 1 database question and many short answer questions on experimental work. So it'll basically be asking you about, for example, experimental procedures when you're in the lab. Section B will be short answer and extended response question from the optional themes. So I don't actually know what this is.
Isn't it essay?
This is essay.
Extended response isn't an essay.
Oh, extended response
No,
is
it's just a really long question.
an essay.
Yeah lah, essay lah.
Yeah, like essay.
No, you know the chem test at the end there was an extended response.
We had a chem test. Oh, but the final question was only like 5 marks. So anyways, the extended response questions are now saying, for example, a simplified version will be your O-level one, where it's 10 marks, and it asks you, for example, how do you obtain a dry salt, for example, calcium hydroxide? Can you stop dancing? I'm not singing here. This is not a nightclub.
Okay, sorry.
Anyways, it'll ask you how to obtain a dry salt, and you need to plan out your whole entire experimental setup for 10 marks. That is an example of an extended question, but it'll be much harder in the IB exam. So now for HR external assessments, aka our HR exams, we have the same 3 papers, except we now have more things inside of it. For paper 1, the only difference is that it now, instead of having 1 hour, instead of having 45 minutes, we now have 1 hour, and instead of being worth 45%, it's now worth 20%. And guess what? For being worth less percent, we now have 40 questions instead of 30 questions. Yay! And we still cannot use a calculator.
You're gonna make my computer cry. Oi!
Make your computer cry.
Anyway, paper 2.
So anyways, your paper 2 will be 2 hours and 15 minutes long for a combined percentage of 36%, which is such a weird number. Can you please have
Extremely weird.
something nicer like 35?
No, you see, right? Because they didn't want the MCQ to have such a big percentage.
But they could have made it 35. 35 and 25. Why is it 36 and 24? It is
Questions
not
you will
nice
never have
number.
answers
well,
to.
Oh well, I guess.
Oh well.
We
So-
love the IB.
Paper 2 will be exactly the same, except that now you will have HR subjects and I've had HR options that you will not previously have in SL's subjects.
Also, your marks increased to 95 marks.
The marks are unimportant, the percentages are the only thing that matters.
Yeah, that's true though.
Timing also increased. It
Yeah,
goes from
because
1
you
hour
have
15
more
to 2
questions and more
hours
marks and more content to cover.
15. True.
I mean, we just said there were like 21 topics for chemistry.
10 extra topics if you take HR.
Yeah.
So paper 3, you will have 1 hour and 15 minutes and it's worth 24%, which is such a weird number. And it will have all questions of all the cores, plus all of the additional HL topics. And it will be exactly the same formatting as SL. So, a list of uni and career pathways that chemistry can take you to. You have things like engineering, pharmaceutical science, medicine. Engineering what?
Oh, okay, yeah. Correct. Continue.
And a bunch of random other sciencey rubbish that I do not understand. For example, geology or like climatologist.
Cool.
Alright.
Cool. Yay.
Cool. So, yeah, chemistry is really important.
Honestly, you need chemistry in a lot of things. So, Most of the time, it's recommended you take chemistry HL unless you're Heather and who decided to take bio HL instead.
I'm pretty sure for Singapore at least you require out of the 3 sciences you require at least 2 different HL sciences.
Yeah, if you want to go into a science field.
And most of the time some of them have chemistry HL as a requirement. Like you have to take it, if not you're not allowed to enter this course.
Yeah.
Especially medicine. Medicine is very competitive and they require chemistry and bio usually.
And sometimes they ask you to have a strong pass in chemistry.
Strong pass.
We are not very sure what the distinction between a pass and a strong pass is, but we assume that a pass is a grade 4 out of grade 7 and a strong pass is a grade 7 out of grade 7 with many more holistic developments and achievements.
Strong pass.
Strong pass! I am currently scoring a weak pass.
Yeah, actually I got a 7.
I got a 6 by 1 mark. I was missing 1 mark. Ay.
Okay. Anyway. Moving on.
Bio!
Oh my gosh. Shush. Okay, moving on to bio. Yeah. So, bio, we have very little core units.
Five
We only
only.
have 5. And it's like your main standard stuff like cell biology, molecular biology. And then you have an added subject called human physiology, which isn't taught in O levels. It's kind of taught a bit, I think, like in transport in humans, but I think physiology is more encompassing of the entire body.
Please
including
tell us what
cells.
human physiology is all about.
I haven't learned yet. Shush. This is like year 6 stuff.
What kind of self-directed learner are you? Huh? Entering IB but never study your own material.
Wait,
You're telling me you study your own material?
So human physiology is like, I eat food, food go where?
No, not just that lah.
The
I'm pretty
food go
sure
into
it's
my
more-
body, then go out the other
So
side.
isn't that topic like gigantic?
It's pretty gigantic. And I would think like you would probably be learning more than just transport in humans and like digestion. Possibly more. I'm not sure yet. There's also the 4 optional subjects. Have also taken human physiology as their optional subject. I think it's
So
also
what's the
catered towards
distinction?
medicine. I don't know Just say it's optional.
Oh,
I don't know why.
probably they add more.
But I think it's because it's a bit more general. For example, like the other optional subject is ecology and conservation, which is very niche. It's extremely niche. So, yeah. Then you have your additional higher level subjects, which is what I'm taking as well. So it's nucleic acids, metabolism, cell respiration, and photosynthesis. Pain! Pain!
Yeah, I love it. Love it.
And the more interesting one, I think the last one, animal physiology.
You get to know what's the insides of a frog.
Can we dissect frogs?
you
Wait,
know
you don't dissect frogs?
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
Ah yeah, those so lame, don't dissect anything. Even Americans get to dissect.
Yeah.
One thing you need to know as like someone who takes only HL bio, no HL chem, no HL physics, is there's a lot of chemistry required. So I'm already kind of losing out on that aspect. Like I don't have the chemistry knowledge, but it's not
She's
super
stupid.
important. It's not super important. Like you don't need to calculate moles. You don't need to think about all those kinematics and stuff like that.
Kinematics,
Or,
that's physics.
or whatever.
physics.
Fine. Chemical kinetics. Sorry, I read wrong. But yes, you kind of need to know like your O-level understanding, but that's about it. Paper 1 is also similar to chemistry. It's 30 MCQ, 45 minutes, and it's 20%. This is for like SL. And there's paper 2, 1 hour 15. It's your database questions, your essay questions, and this one has a calculator. I think like all the paper ones for
All the paper
sciences.
ones do not have
Yeah,
calculators.
they don't have
have
calculator.
calculator.
Yeah,
They hate us.
they do.
They expect you to be smart enough to do 1 plus 1.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to be
They
smart.
expect too much.
No, they don't even expect you to do 1 plus 1. They expect you to do freaking what?
Freaking, excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
The gall of you to use such language.
They expect you to do like 20 times 6.62 times 10 to the power negative 34
No way.
times.
No, but it's all rounded off, so it's just 20 times 6. 120, the end.
Yeah lah, but like
Nah lah, stop complaining lah.
I'm lazy and like
I'm
because
also
they get you to
lazy.
divide by like 10 to the power of negative.
Okay, bio. This is my
20.
time. This is my
Sorry.
bio.
It's
It's bio.
Heather's time. It's Heather's time.
Can I interject?
Bio.
You took HL art over HL chemistry
Yes.
because HL chemistry was too hard. So what does HL art bring to bio? You can draw the cells nicer. That's it.
True.
That was the only reason why you took HR.
No, not just that. Okay, my personal reason why I chose bio over chemistry is I love bio more than chemistry. Bio to me is like a story. Does chemistry have a story? No.
Yes. We have to learn about the history of why everything has
It's
created.
not that. It's your concepts. It's your concepts. For example, you look at cell respiration, right? You have aerobic respiration and you have your Krebs cycle. It's an entire story.
Krebs cycle.
What's a Krebs cycle?
Yes. It's a cycle
Crab or
called
crab?
named after the scientist Krebs.
Krebs. Oh,
Krebs cycle.
Did he come up with the animal crabs?
No.
Is he the creator of SpongeBob?
KREBB
Oh
lah.
my
Wait, is he the creator of
gosh.
SpongeBob? Mr. Krabs.
Okay, but yes, to me, it has that story aspect which goes well with art, and I do like combining these two things together. Okay, moving on. Paper 3. SL, it's like 1 hour, 20%, 35 marks, and you have your short answer, your database, which is basically your theory questions, and then you have section B, which is your short answer plus your extended response, which is the essay kind of question. And then HL is the same. Oh, is it the same? No, it's not. Is the paper 1 is your same thing, extended to 1 hour instead of 45 minutes. It's 20%. You have 40 MCQs this time as well. No calculator. Paper 2 is your 2 hours, 15 minutes. You have your database, and you have to choose 2 out of 3 of the extended response questions to answer. So then you have paper 3, which is honestly the same thing, but it's just, it's actually very same thing, very much same thing. No need to talk about it.
What's an essay question?
That's an
How do you
essay
write
question.
an essay for science?
Okay, so like our most recent test, it was on proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, stuff like that, right? And the essay question at the back was, why do mammals like store more fats than carbohydrates? Which seems like very easy.
Fat shaming.
You store more fats than carbohydrates.
That's
You're
also
fat shaming.
I'm not. No, but you have to look at the, the biology of it, right? So you have to answer. It's a pretty standard, very easy, honestly, because it's just 5 marks. So you just list down like, oh, lipids, they store their long-term storage, energy storage, and carbohydrates are short-term, stuff like that. You just list down why it's better to store fats than carbohydrates. Functionality of fats, basically. So that's one of the examples. I'm pretty sure when you go IB exam, it's much harder than that.
Why do y'all get to choose 2 out of 3 questions when you have so little topics? And chemistry just makes you do all the topics. That's
I
kind
don't
of unfair.
No, because each of their topic is like a fat topic.
Yeah, it's true. It's very fat.
No,
And, like,
but then
they
what-
start you off on the weirdest topic. The first topic you start with is ecology, which is the last topic in O levels. So if you didn't learn it like me, you're just like suffering there. Like, I don't like ecology at all, but I have to learn.
That makes no sense. Because it's not like you can just choose to learn 2 out of 3 topics, then after that you learn to save 2 out of 3 of your patients
No.
as a doctor.
No, if you're taking HL, then you are taking what? 11 core units. So, yeah, you need to learn all what?
Learn 2 out of 11.
No.
Save 2 out of 11 patients. Sorry, I can only save people with flu and diarrhea. If you have cancer, you can go somewhere else.
You don't
Oh
need
my
you don't need
gosh.
saving if you have flu and diarrhea.
What do you mean? What if somebody's dehydrated? You need to learn what to do.
You just give them water.
Sorry, I don't take bio.
Oh my gosh. So, but the Uni Pathways you can take as like medicine, earth and environmental
Medicine.
science. Medicine, sorry.
I would just like to say I thought she only wrote Earth, so I thought you can only become the Earth.
You hi. You
I'm
are hi.
Aeden.
You okay? Hi,
Hi,
Aeden.
Aeden.
I'm Dad, but sure.
Hi,
Anyway.
Dad. Where do you go?
You can take pharmacy, like pharmaceutical science, physiotherapy, sports science, stuff like that.
Wait, is physiotherapy the one where you massage people?
I don't know.
The one you put like on the table, then you take the oil and you...
I think that's just called massaging.
Oh.
I'm not sure, but I think most of these pathways also require chemistry, and so you can't just go into bio alone. But it's fine for me. Oh my gosh.
Because
What?
chemistry is actually important, and chemistry is more important than bio.
Exactly. You
Bio
don't need to
is
go into
built
some
off
things with
chemistry.
Only chemistry and without bio.
I'm not going to go into a science field. So yeah, that's a trade-off, right? If you're just gonna do one science like me, just doing bio or like just doing physics, and you don't do chem, there's a trade-off where you can only do field specializing with just bio. Or if you don't even want to do a science field, then you are limited to the knowledge you have for that subject.
But you need to know basic chemistry to learn and understand the reactions in bio.
Yes and no.
Like you can't just go into bio.
Yeah. Like for example, redox is a very important subject in O levels, right? And redox is pretty much used a lot for bio as well. So I don't know, I don't like it.
Don't like it.
I don't like it.
Don't like
Oh,
it.
so sad.
Shut up!
I think we need to see Heather's notes for bio because she's an art student. So
I can show you now.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
It's 11:11. Make a wish to make sure that bio never comes back.
True. I hate bio.
Okay, but bio is honestly a self-study topic. And one
I
of the
think
things
that's just because you have bio ninja.
No.
Yeah, they have bio ninja.
No, bio ninja is also a bit
We have Econ
conflicting.
Tel Del.
You know what I have?
Why?
Look, these
I
are
have
my notes.
me, myself, and I. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You
this
made
is-
these?
I made this.
Looks a bunch like copy and paste from internet.
No. This is compiled with teacher's notes, another teacher's notes, and then the textbook.
Sorry, the filler
So
is
by,
made
by,
out of
by
copy and
teacher's notes, you mean you took it from another teacher?
I took from 2 teachers' notes.
How do you get the other teacher's notes?
I have my ways.
paste. When in IB, you need to learn how to be resourceful, okay? You need to be able to get all of the
I
resources.
love my tables, if you can't tell.
Guys.
Tables are the best ways to remember your stuff in bio.
Our editor went on a 300-story rant about bio before the bio exam.
And I read it to revise it.
You read it to revise for your test.
300 stories. WhatsApp stories.
Hey, I save him also, okay? I told him need tertiary structure of protein as well. He was like, don't need. Then I was like, yes, need.
Wow.
Okay, physics.
Wrong one.
Huh?
Wrong
Why are you
one.
increasing the brightness of the keyboard?
Sorry, I don't use Apple products. I'm too poor.
Okay,
No, you're
come.
very- Okay.
Physics.
Physics, my baby.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm locking
wanna go eat
myself in prison.
We go eat lunch, he go do physics.
Sorry, I'm locking myself in prison by taking a physics EE, okay?
Oh, you're
Sorry.
taking a physics EE?
I am taking
So
a physics
you are doing physics, you are doing SL history, and you're doing a physics EE. You basically have the trifecta of torturous methods.
Yeah, you do.
I wouldn't say that.
People who come to IB are masochists.
Hey, my SL history is quite okay. I'm getting 75. And that's a
That's not even a
7.
confirmed 7.
That's a
That's 7, that's a 7.
Oh, in history it's a confirmed 7.
You know,
Yeah,
you
great
need like
boundaries.
30 to pass history. It's quite funny. You need a 30.
I need a 60 to pass.
Okay, continuing.
Okay, continuing. So physics. The core subjects that SL and HL must take are measurements and uncertainties.
Sounds
So-
a lot like chemistry.
Yeah, it does sound a lot like chemistry. So I heard from a chemistry teacher that those physics students, they are very good with their uncertainties. I love them. So
Comes in with an 80% uncertainty.
wow.
My marks also 80% uncertainty.
Anyway, I love physics. So the first core topic, measurements and uncertainties. This is basically the same as chemistry. But in chemistry, I don't know, they love their percentage uncertainties. But in physics, they love their absolute uncertainties. So it's like a love-hate relationship with uncertainties. Yeah. But all the chemistry teachers love physics students because their uncertainties are always on point, like mine. Thank you.
Okay.
So
Moving on.
next, it's mechanics. Oh gosh, mechanics.
Have you learned that yet?
We just finished it.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's a very fat topic. And it's this like blend of what you used to know and what you do know. So, you know how in O levels you learn that Newton's second law is F equals to mass times acceleration. But now in IB you learn that that's not very true. And that Newton's second law is actually F equals to m dv over dt plus v times dm over dt. Yeah, so
This is how we're not taking physics.
it's a little different, but you get used to it. I mean, I'm not suffering at all. I'm fine.
Blink twice if you need help.
You lost me
I
at
love physics. Look at me go. Anyway, so yeah, that's on forces. Then you learn this new thing called momentum.
Wait, this is not inside here.
No, it's under mechanics.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a subtopic. So in physics, there are subtopics. So you learn something called momentum, where Momentum is equal to mass times velocity, and it's applied with Newton's second law, because Newton's second law states that force is
This is
equal.
not a physics lesson, my guy.
Sorry. I'm just explaining, okay, what's different.
Wait.
What's different. So you learn momentum, which you don't learn in O levels. What?
Aeden, does F equals to M means food equals to male?
Huh?
At female equals to male, actually.
You lost me at food equals to male. I'm very hungry. I want to eat.
I'm so hungry. But it's
So
okay.
hungry, I'm
I'm so
dead.
hungry.
Anyways.
We are starving students. We don't ever have money to eat.
Okay, sorry. Moving on. Then we have thermophysics, which from what I've learned so far is basically the same as what you learn in secondary school. So like nothing new there. You just learn triple point of water and how pressure affects temperature. And how pressure affects the melting point and boiling point. That's fine. Y'all will be fine.
Okay.
Electricity and magnetism. I think it's the same. Just add more. Then circular motion and gravitation. This one's new. I don't know what's going on in it. But yeah, you'll learn something.
Does anybody?
No one knows anything actually. So then we have atomic, nuclear, and particle physics. Oh, this one's fun. You know the teacher's gonna give us like radioactive particles.
You sure?
And then we get to like
Can you make your own atomic
get
bomb?
cancer.
Okay. I mean, you do have a constant stream of radiation at normal
Okay, sorry. You know why? Because we're all sticky iPad kids.
Actually, bio is the most boring subject. Chemistry, you get to
No.
play with carcinogenic substances, and
No.
physics, you get to play with radioactive substances.
Guys, for
Both are
bio,
very
you know what they
cancer.
do? They took a square and they threw it on the ground.
Okay, that one is boring. That one is very boring.
They took
But
printed
we built-
pictures of flowers and threw it onto the
But we
field.
built our own ecosystem, like a small ecosystem
But
that's completely sealed off from the atmosphere and environment.
By build, don't you just mean you took a plastic container and threw a bunch of decaying leaves inside?
No, that's not how it works. It's called a mesocosm.
Yeah, and I
Mesocosm.
saw like 5 banana peels and decaying leaves inside.
Yeah, banana peels are good for
Is there a
decaying.
frog inside?
You can maybe put a frog inside.
Is there a little mermaid inside? Is
Oh
that where
my
Arielle went?
gosh. Oh my god.
Why do you say Arielle went into the mesocosm? Arielle, if you're watching this,
Is
we're
she going to?
sorry. I don't know whether she will actually. She might.
I'm sorry this episode is so messy.
Mesocosm. Anyway, moving on. Then we have our options. So for physics, you have 4 options: relativity, engineering physics, imaging, and astrophysics.
Which one
Usually, your school will pick it for you, but I picked astrophysics,
Stars.
which is so boring. I would rather like relativity or engineering, but it's fine. It's fine. You get what you get, right?
Yeah.
You get what you get. So then moving on, we have our additional HL level subjects. So this will make all the core topics become 12.
Your higher level studies only 4 core units. 4 units.
Yep.
Ah,
They still have more than bio.
Yep.
yeah, still more than bio.
It's still,
True, that's true.
It's still more than bio. But you have to understand, physics is basically just applied math. There's like, but all the word problems are sort of a pain because you need like a specific phrasing and it's so annoying. But yeah, it's basically just applied math. And if you are good at math, you will be fine. So yeah. So our additional HL subjects, we have the wave phenomenon, which is the duality particle thing that you learned in chemistry.
What?
Do you understand what's going on?
Oh, the duality particle theory. That means that the photons are able to act both as a wave and a particle at the
Oh my
same time.
god! Yay!
I didn't know that. Confused.
Because you don't take chem.
It's like a wavy ball. Just imagine.
Yeah, it is a wavy ball.
It's a, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it can be
Yeah.
both the wave and the ball. It is both the wave and the ball at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you have electromagnetic. You have fields. So you know the school field, that field. Then you have electromagnetic induction, which is, you know what it is. Then there's quantum and nuclear physics, which is so fun.
Okay.
When
Moving
do
on.
you learn how to DIY your nuclear bomb?
Yeah, you also can learn how to do
Huh?
that.
You can?
Yeah.
I'll sign up for physics now.
You learn how the nuclear bomb works. So now we'll move on to the assessment criteria. So this is for SL, physics SL. Okay, SL, standard level. So paper 1 will be 45 minutes, 20%, 30 marks. It's the same, honestly, it's the same for all the sciences.
No calculator.
No calculator, MCQ.
Oh, but you guys have physics booklet, data booklet.
Yeah, we have a physics
Booklet.
data booklet. Do you not?
I don't. Bio doesn't
Oh.
have a booklet, I think.
Oh lord.
Because-
Because we
Bio.
don't. Yeah, because we don't have any formulas.
Yeah. The physics data booklet, you just have all your formulas. Yeah, it's quite interesting if you like the booklet. It's not as thick as the chemistry's booklet, but it's very interesting. I like the booklet. Anyway, now we have paper 2 for SL. 1 hour 15 minutes, and it's about 40%, 50 marks. So it's the same as the previous one, short answer and extended response. Then you can use your calculator this time, so you actually need to math it out. Yeah. Then the data booklet will also be provided. Now we have paper 3, 1 hour, 20%, and it's about 35 marks. Yeah, so this is all your core and SL option material. So you'll just be able to answer all the option questions. I actually looked at it once. It's quite okay. Honestly, most of the time you'll just be referring to your data booklet, so it's fine. And as my physics teacher says, as long as you practice enough, you'll be fine. Everyone is fine. Everyone loves the IB. Next, HL. So paper 1 is now the same, 1 hour, 20%, 40 marks. But you have 40 MCQ.
Same thing? No
Yeah,
calculator?
No calculator. Now paper 2 is 2 hour, 15 minutes, 36%, 95 marks. 95?
95, yeah. Oh wait, but bio is 72 marks for paper 2 HL.
95?
Yes, 95.
So not only does bio have less content, you also have less questions and less marks to answer.
Okay, but it's probably 95 because it's all the math questions.
Yes. I would
Each
agree.
math question is like 3 marks. And it's just writing numbers on paper.
But that's easy marks.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it's 95 now.
Yeah.
Walao.
It should be like that.
I don't
Yeah.
take physics. I don't want to feel chem anymore.
So anyway, so there's a short answer and extended response. Same thing. Calculator allowed. AHL topics are also there. So yeah. Then paper 3. Paper 3 is fun. Paper 3 HL is fun. You have 1 hour 15 minutes, 24%, 45 marks. And this one is just all the option questions. It's the same as SL, I think, just that it's a bit more higher level.
No, because you got your HL.
Yeah, you got your
units.
AHL topics also. They try to intertwine the option topics and the AHL topics, so you get weird questions. But
So-
it's okay, it should be fine.
What Uni Pathways can you take if you take
Thank you, Heather. I was just getting to that. Thank you.
Okay. Stop.
So for the Uni Pathways you can take, you have Yeah, you do have astrophysics actually. You can become an astrologer.
Astrologer.
Astronomer.
Astronaut.
Yeah, astronaut. That works too. But okay, you also have architecture. But this is only applied to if you want to study architecture in Singapore. But
This
yeah,
one. Yeah, there's like one art guy. Then he also takes SL physics instead of chem because he wants to do architecture.
yeah. See,
Yeah.
see, physics is cool. Heather.
It's for the select few dumb people.
Moving
So
on.
mean. Okay, then you need physics if you want to go into computer science
Or gaming.
or gaming.
When mum told me gaming will not get me a career.
Oh wow. Then engineering, of course.
Yeah, I love engineering. That's my future career. Watch me crash and burn, but it's okay. Everyone crashes and burn now and then, right? Yeah, so
Yes.
that's physics.
Yes. Okay. So IAs, which is your internal assessments. You wanna give a very brief overview?
No.
Okay, then I'll do it. So basically, your IAs for science is you have to come up with your own research question, something you're interested in, and you have to do one IA for each science you're taking. So if you take one science like me, you just need to do one IA.
Good for you.
But if you're taking two like this boy over here, you have to do two IAs.
Ah.
Yes. And each one spends like 10 hours. So you have like, I think 1 hour in the lab to finish whatever you're doing, finish your experiment, record your data, stuff like that. And IB doesn't want to restrict you. So they usually say you can do any topic you want to that's within the syllabus. So for bio, you can do something like enzymes. They don't recommend it because it's very like finicky and it's pretty expensive to get the materials. But is there like a safety guideline for chem or physics?
Chem, just don't burn down the school, I guess.
Just don't die.
Physics, eh?
Physics. Honestly, all the physics experiments are damn boring, but no quantum physics experiments, no nuclear physics experiments, obviously. And yeah, I think other than that, it's pretty
For
cool.
bio, is no like animal experiments, I think. I don't think you're allowed to do
Anything that
testing
breaches
on-
ethics
yeah.
of life and sentient, sentient
Nothing
life.
about ethics. Like if you want to do something like testing out the animal's reaction to this kind of substance, not allowed because it's not ethical.
Because it might potentially harm or stress an animal.
Yeah. So the weightage for all your IAs are like 20%. and there's usually like a formatted template for you to follow, which is like personal engagement, why you choose this RQ, which is research question, why you want to do this. Your second is like exploration, how you approach this experiment. Third is like your analysis, your evaluation, and then your communication. And then you're done. And then it's like a report lah. So that's different from A levels where you have to do a practical. I think A levels is like O levels, right?
Yeah, it's practical.
Yeah, you go into the lab, you finish your practical, you submit the paper to Cambridge, and then you're done. Done for your practical aspect of science. But for IB, no, they want you to make your own experiment.
And do your own practical.
Yeah,
Do it yourself.
and come up with your own report.
And then they'll bully you for how bad your
Let's introduce you to the amazing world of reports, which IB does earlier, even though we're only supposed to be doing this in university. So technically, you have a bit of extra time to go and learn and prepare. While A-level plebeians will be studying this in university.
Okay, one thing I will say, right, as someone who is coming into IB, is like, you, as a JAE student, when you see like you have to do a report, you're kind of like, what's a report, right? And literally my teacher did not say anything about report. He's like, okay, time to do a report. And then he gives like the template, and I'm like, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to say. I get my data, I put it in, and I like draw the graph, and I'm so confused. But yes, it's a very good skill, honestly. Like if you look at science research articles online and you want to get the information from them, you actually understand how it's structured. You actually understand which parts you want to look for, stuff like that. It's a very good skill. I don't think A levels does that, so yeah.
And coming from IP, it's very
Yeah,
easy.
IP,
Yeah, we got a
they
head
trained
start.
to do this.
Yeah, so we were laughing at all the O-level students when they came in, and they all basically like
Cried.
came to us and was like,
yes.
I don't know how
I went to my friend a lot, and I was like, help.
Oh, it didn't come to me.
You're not taking bio.
Oh,
Why would I go to you?
oh.
Somebody's jealous.
Yeah. But usually like your reports are the ones that's graded for your term in semesters.
So it's usually a report and a test.
Or
Like
like
IB.
multiple reports, one test, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And that's about it for science.
No,
I
it is
think.
not.
No?
Because you have touched on exploration, analysis, and evaluation without actually explaining what they are. So if you actually link it to the O-level topics, you know how when you have O-level practical, they give you a methodology and they say, add this solution, add this much, add this much. Well, in IB, our exploration is basically planning out the entirety of the methodology, trying to find out how to create a certain concentration of the solution that is required and all of the reagents, what are the proportions, what should be the limiting reaction, the excess, and after that we have to make our own. They'll just basically say, okay, I want you to find out how much chlorine is in this pool water, and you have to go and find out.
Oh, is that one?
They won't give you the steps. You have to go and plan out everything yourself, do research, read up on different papers, search the internet, find out methods to do it, why you chose this method over other methods. You need to justify all of your actions. And for analysis, it will be like, for example, you know how after obtaining all of your titration values for O levels, they ask you to find out the mole of specific reagent. Well, that will basically be your analysis. You just calculate everything, crunch all of your different numbers and data, show your uncertainty, anomalies, how your result deviates from the actual results. And after that, so evaluation would be, for example, you know how you have questions such as, what was good about this? What were some flaws of this experiment? How could it be improved? What were the limitation, weaknesses? So evaluation will be talking about where you went wrong, where you went right, how to fix it, how to do better in the future. If you have unlimited money, unlimited budget,
Oh my gosh.
aka extension, if you have unlimited budget, how do you manage to extend your experiment? For example, instead of using this cheap method that is very inaccurate, we can use this very expensive method to find a more accurate version of the result. Or you could be stupid like me and say, instead of finding out the chlorine in a swimming pool, you find out the amount of chlorine in an ocean.
You can't.
Wait, what? You actually put that in your
Yes,
report?
I put it in.
I wrote drinking water and you put ocean.
I put ocean, yes. I said that I was going to go to the ocean, collect 3 liters of ocean water, I'm going to find out the chlorine inside of it.
I want to see whether your teachers like market you there, like.
Yes, my teacher's going to love me. I'm a jokester.
Oh god.
And the final one, communication, is basically how well how well you structure your whole entire thing. There are, of course, formats to follow. and like different templates that you can use for your IA report. But if your IA report is very convoluted and they cannot find any of your headings, they don't know what you're talking about, your communication is going to go down. So they're going to have to teach you how to write proper reports that stay within a page limit of 12, learn how to properly cite articles and write a bibliography along with justifications for every single action you take, including why you use this apparatus, how many apparatus you used, why do you choose this apparatus over the other, which in O levels, you literally don't care. They'll literally just tell you, take this beaker and do this thing, add these two together. Now you have to say, we have to do this because a 1947 paper told me to do it. And I'm like, this is the justification. Why go read this 10-page essay? Welcome to reports.
Basically, for communication, the rule of thumb is if your report looks ugly, then you're probably gonna fail communication.
If you don't know how to format, you're basically done.
Formatting is very important.
Guys, I'm just saying, right? Times New Roman ensures that you get 1 mark already.
Yes!
It does.
Times New Roman, 12,
Yeah.
12 fonts and like double spacing.
No, 11.
My teacher says 12.
12. I use 11. Sometimes I use 10.
I use 12.
Can I just
Direct
say,
too
they
much.
want you to do this really ugly thing called double line spacing.
Yeah. Honestly, double
No, but
line
you can do
spacing
single
does improve
also.
You cannot.
No, you cannot.
You have to do double line spacing and it's super ugly because it makes it look as if every single one of your lines has a rip in time space and reality in it. It's so disgusting.
Okay, so I think that's about it. So this is the group 4 science of IB, of IB, yes. And this is very important because if you are interested in going to A levels, where if you take an art stream, you don't actually have to take a science. And when you come to IB, you have to take a science. But overall, this is a very important bit because I came in not knowing much except for like the topics that I wanted to learn. And like, ooh, human physiology, yummy.
Thank you for coming to another episode of IB What's Going On.
I don't know what's going on.
Anyway, we talked about the Group 4 sciences today and we hope you learned something. If you didn't, we are terribly sorry and we hope to do better next time.
Okay,
So yes,
this is us signing off and we'll see you in the next episode.
once again, I'm Aeden.
I'm Heather.
And I'm IB, what's going on?
And that's Greg. Okay.
And we will miss our little mermaid terribly.
It's okay, Mermaid won't be back for the next few episods.
Yeah.
Mermaid is gone to go and visit Aladdin.
True.
Okay.
She grew feet and she ran off.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.